taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
You said Haney, right?
Yeah, because Rodney said Haney or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, as most people know who follow boxing, like I said, lightweight division got turned on its ear last year when George Kambosos, he upset Teofimo Lopez to become the new unified and lineal lightweight champion of the world. And we recognize that as such, because dude, he won the fight, he won it clear, he won it fair, there's no bullshit, and we all recognize him as such, But the one thing that we were all expecting because of the energy that was put out there by Kambosos himself was the fact that Kambosos would go and try to go for the undisputed belt and face Devin Haney, who holds the WBC lightweight title, and has held that lightweight title on and off for about a couple of years now. And unfortunately for Haney was a victim of some horrible politics. We thank Vasyl Lomachenko for that. Haney won.
Email belt bullshit.
Yeah, Haney had won an interim belt, and he was next to face Lomachenko. He was the WBC, because it was either that or the Teofimo Lopez fight. So Lomachenko gets up the belt and gets that that fucking what is that shit called? Franchise belt, WBC franchise bullshit. Which of course pisses off. So WBC, okay, Haney's the WBC lightweight champion, fine. Lomachenko goes on to lose his belt to Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez does not, for a year does not get into a whole bunch of shit. I mean, he has this Kambosos fight. The Kambosos was his mandatory, and he was next, so it's whatever. But there was a lot of energy towards the Teofimo not facing Haney. And then Haney was kind of stripped, and he was reinstated because he had the shoulder surgery. And then they started talking about, hey, Teofimo is the undisputed lightweight champion, and when he clearly wasn't. he wasn't, and he hasn't been. So and then the WBC was even like, oh yeah, he's the lightweight champion, but it's like, then what is Devin Haney? Like, you're supposed to call the belt. You're supposed to call that fight eventually. So, like as I mentioned before, Kambosos loses. Kambosos beats Teofimo Lopez, but now we're in a situation where they're trying to negotiate Kambosos' first maiden title defense in Australia, and basically he's mentioned two people. He's mentioned Devin Haney, and he's mentioned Vasyl Lomachenko. Oh, three people, excuse me. And then you have the other wild card who should not even be in these talks, in Ryan Garcia. So
as I predicted last year, I said, watch, I bet he end up fighting Ryan Garcia. Y'all niggas and whoever was in the chat that time, do y'all remember? Because everybody was like, man, I doubt that's going to happen. Nah, that no one wants to see that, man. Ryan, now look at it.
Yeah,
now look at boxing. Look at
now, lightweight, which is a good division, now has a whole bunch of bullshit going on there. And it looks like right now Haney is getting, and the funny thing is too, out of the three that I mentioned before, Haney's probably fought probably the better, maybe slightly better competition in recent times, if you want to say that. I mean, with Lomachenko,
Jojo Diaz is a better win than anybody has right now at lightweight besides Teofimo and Kambosos, and
right. So it's like, and the fun thing is too is, I mean, and I mentioned before, I know Kambosos probably wants to fight, but the unfortunate thing is Kambosos his promoter is Lou DiBella, and Lou DiBella is not the most. Lou DiBella immediately was just like, well, why do we have to fight Devin Haney for? Like, what's that, like, and he had enough to be annoyed, like we're not asking for that fight. So they've been going back and forth, and Kambosos has been really patty on the social media lately. Like, ever since he's won the belt,
he's been flexing hard. I know a lot of people just act like he's changed or flipped the script, but
yeah, I mean,
I get it. Like, it's almost doing a little too much because everybody feels like this fight should have been alley oop. It should have been Lob City and
right. The only question should have been like, where's it gonna air? Because Kambosos and Haney are both in the clear. They're not tied down to a promoter or a platform. You know, so it's like that should have been figured out. That should have been the thing. And it's been like Kambosos won it in November, right? So it's been what, 3 months, give or take, 3 months. You know, like something should be like brewing and stewing right now. But Kambosos, you know, pretty much dude is like, you know, you see that man in the mirror, I am the man in the mirror type shit. Like, dude, he's wilding right now, but he's champion, so I get it. You know, he's doing what he needs to do.
It makes me look at Hearn kind of like, you know how people get at him about being that whole shady, janky, used car salesman vibe promoter shit he be on.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing? Y'all work so close with Haney. Y'all made y'all investments. And I'm really kind of arguing y'all point because it's looking like I was right anyway, so I'm not going to argue my point. But here you have a fight, like it's a big fight, it's an alley-oop right there, like most logical step to do in Australia. Haney said he's good on all the demands. He'll come over there, he'll do what he gotta do.
Right, so it's just like, what are we doing? Like, you know, so it's like,
check this out though. Check this out. Didn't Hearn just make a tweet today where he was saying I've made an offer to them? Like,
sure did.
So, what was going on this whole time?
Yeah, it just seemed like it's a lot of flexing and shit like this. And Kambosos is like, oh, don't believe what you heard, and then pretty much every single time that Lou DiBella tweets something, you know, Haney is like, quack quack and shit like that. Like dude is like telling fairy tales and shit like that. So it's like, it makes it hard. It's a whole bunch of he said this, he said that type of shit, and it's annoying because it's being played out publicly instead of being like, you know, try to figure the shit out behind the scenes. Like, don't let everyone all up in.
Everybody's trying to get leverage, so they just saying they little shit in public, like you said.
Right, and then I'm just reading Rodney's other message. You think Davis or Loma is going to exercise the mandatory challenge for Kambosos? Tank, no.
Hold on. Tank is a mandatory for a belt?
No, Tank is not. Tank isn't really aim. And Tank holds that one of the stupid GameStop belt at the WA for 135.
Oh, he's not a real man though.
Yeah, but he got ordered to face Rolly. You know.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind that. Fuck it. What about Loma?
Yeah, Loma
is though, ain't it?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think that Kambosos even had any mandatories.
Well, shit, if he was a Mando for Tio with somebody take care of him. Yeah,
because I know they weren't going to call because he won the belt as a Mando. So I don't think he had any immediate mandatories. So I think Kambosos was actually free to fight whoever he wanted.
But the thing is, what he's saying and what I've heard is that Loma's like next in line. Like, I think he's like he could exercise it if he wanted to, as far as making it like his next fight or in the near future type shit, I guess.
Well, in this particular, I mean, and I know in this case, dude,
I'm not looking at the rankings or nothing. I don't know what I think it would be for like what, WBO or something.
I forget who because their rotations are kind of weird. I always forget who's up to bat first for him. I mean, pretty much. I mean, truthfully, it should be Haney. Haney should be because that's to close to complete that cipher. But after the WC, I'm not sure who's actually.
If they're throwing around big money, I think Ryan Garcia, all of them, they know that's the fight that could make the most money. Right. Luma is more so saying like, we could give you the best platform. We could throw you a lot of money, Now to cinch it, Loma might try to exercise or try to put that like on some like, well, hey, you may as well fight me because you're gonna have to eventually fight me anyway, whatever. Even if you got a free fight next right now.
Yeah, so but I think for the Mariner, I think the WBO has to call it, which they haven't. They have not done it yet.
Oh, okay.
So that's the thing. Like,
Lomachenko still has leverage in that situation because I keep hearing his name was brought up as well, but it looked like they would just kind of do that to just throw everybody off. Like I think like Ryan Garcia is what they really wanted all along.
Right, and then Ryan Garcia, like if you heard our and we'll talk about him shortly. Like if you heard our cast about him, like dude should not be anywhere near a title shot right now. Like he pretty much. He
deserved it. Honestly, I'd rather he would do some shit like Errol Spence and come back and just jump in a title fight. He beat Luke Campbell. I know he's been on the bullshit with the mental health and the injuries, but if you want to come back and take a tough fight, as slow as the sport be moving with these dudes, I don't mind. I wouldn't mind if he came back and fought Kambosos or something.
I see. The thing is, I can't tolerate that only because I know Haney's actually been fighting and actually. I
know that, but Haney just had him a decent fight with Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz would be the best name for Ryan Garcia as well.
Yeah. Lucky for us, that's not going to happen since Ryan Garcia already has a fight. Up, so and hopefully he gets beat. Honestly, I want him beat because he's pissing me off lately.
But now they're saying that's the whole part of the deal. Like I think that's a DeBella guy, and if Ryan Garcia gets past him, then he can fight Kambosos in the fall, which is what they try to set.
Because let's be honest, Kambosos is in terms of the opponents, he's the one that Kambosos most likely is favored to actually beat. Like Kambosos. Because Ryan Garcia is a guy with a lot of technical fundamental flaws.
But see, Ryan Garcia also got the best chance of fucking knocking Kambosos the fuck out.
I mean, let's. I mean, if it's Kambosos versus Haney or Lomachenko, there's a good chance that Kambosos is letting go of those belts. Whereas Garcia, there's a good chance that Kambosos may actually leave the ring with his belt.
Haney and Kambosos is actually a closer, better fight, to be honest. Like with Kambosos and Garcia, you're gonna swing either one way or the other. You're gonna be like, you're either gonna think Kambosos beats his ass because he's more mature, better all around everything, or you're gonna say, I think Garcia's gonna catch him and he's gonna knock dude out. It's one or the other. But with Haney and Kambosos, you're looking at a closer, more competitive fight. Because remember, it's not like Haney has a bigger win than fucking Teofimo Lopez.
Right.
So you can't just, I don't want people to just automatically give Haney the win. He might be the slight favorite, and Kambosos might know that. I don't think he's afraid of the man. I think he's just trying to get the most money.
Yeah, that's what it is.
A lot of these guys are just pump faking. Like, if dudes just come out from the beginning and just be like, they after the most money, then no one will say nothing. But the way they presented everything after the fight and all that shit, like undisputed and, you ain't got to do the pump fake.
Right. Now, if Kambosos kept the rounds, like, you know what? I'm not undisputed on type, and I can respect it. But now, and truthfully, Kambosos was like that. But lately, he's like, okay, the WBC is like, oh yeah, he's undisputed, and then all of a sudden you say it's like, yeah, I'm undisputed, I'm the undisputed lightweight champion, and you're not, you're absolutely not.
So the perfect world, I think Haney and Lomachenko should fight, and Kambosos and Ryan Garcia should fight, and the winners fight each other, and that's it.
Yeah, but the thing was, I mean, it's like Haney, it's like
Loma would still be fighting for a title, and him and Haney were supposed to fucking fight.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think Lomachenko wants to fight Haney. That's the problem.
Exactly. But I look at it like this: like, if who better to fight? Who's more deserving to fight or put yourself out there as a top guy? If you're not fighting anybody else but fucking Kambosos, and if Kambosos is fighting Ryan Garcia. you think he's gonna fucking fight Zepeda?
Yeah, no. Yes.
I mean, come on, like Loma at this point in his career, like he's super calculated now, like.
Yeah, because his body is falling. His body's
he's not gonna take a dangerous fight unless it's a big fight. Like the man fought T.O. leftovers trying to one up him.
Right.
And it's like when he could have fought Haney and fought for a title. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like everybody's doing a little void game. So to fucking answer or to reply to Rodney Blake's statement that Haney needs to move up, I think Haney does need to move up. He didn't have the best lightweight run, but at the end he defended against Linares, who was past it but still decent, still serviceable. Beat him clearly while stumbling at the end. And then he fought Jojo Diaz, who is in his prime, good fighter, solid. It is what it is. Like, take those 2 wins and just build off that. Go to 140, fight Montana Love, and then be one of the top fucking 3 guys at fucking 140. Because if you beat Montana Love, you'll be one of the top 5 guys off rip.
Yeah, and with the lightweight, because like I said, even if he decides, even if he doesn't decide to go up there, obviously his body will make him convince that real soon. Because like I said, I was at his last fight. I was in the fight with Jojo Diaz, good fight. And then obviously if you go on our YouTube and I took the video of the whole post-fight conference and where Haney has mentioned to say that it's getting harder for him to make the weight. Like
and he looked.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying he looked it.
Yeah, and 140 is definitely in his very immediate future. So, and like I said, you hate to see that this is how a lightweight title is going to run, and then most likely once that belt is, if he gets up that belt, then most likely Kambosos, whoever's the friends, will probably get that belt back or some shit like that, some stupid shit like that, and it'll be real unfortunate if that happens, though. But yeah, it's looking good because you might. It's probably better. I personally don't want to see it, but if you need to go 140, it's better to probably go 140 with your zero than not go without it. Especially if you fight 135 again against someone that you don't really want to fight, and you take it. Unfortunately, you take an unfortunate L. So. But yeah, that's boxing politics in a nutshell at lightweight, and it is bad too because it's holding up the division.
Yeah, because it seemed like the industry just wanted to pump fake and be on some righteous shit, and it just seemed like they never intended to really get Haney and Kambosos a fight for undisputed, which is cool. Just say it from the get-go. Like, I don't like the whole, it just reminded me of the whole, like, the new Star Wars with, they made everybody think the black kid was gonna be a fucking Jedi and be dope and be cool, and they pump faked it with that shit, and then he running around screaming Ray and asking for a white chick. Like, right. Like, it's just the whole pump fake to get you interested, and then they say, you know what? Nah, we giving it to you this way, and like I'm just kind of over that shit. Like, just make up your mind, just do the fucking fight. Like, and I don't know what's going on Hearn's end, if they just not making offers, and then the same day, they're saying, oh, we've been sent them an offer, but then they countered and it was disgusting. And like, come on, like Lou DiBella, like all that shit is like, is it necessary? Like, I feel like there's so much, fuckery going on behind the scenes with this shit.
Yeah, and truthfully, I think it's all caused by Lou DiBella. Like I said, Lou DiBella, it's been a while since he's been in a position where he actually has a fighter who's actually who is ruling a division, who's actually the number one guy in his division. So he's acting brand new about the situation.
Like, dudes is gonna make sure they get their comeuppance. Like they paycheck on point on this one. So
yeah, he wants to pay. Like, he's a promoter. Yeah, he's not. Unfortunately, promoters.
So hold on, wait. Kambosos is pretty much going to sit out. He's not going to fight anybody until then.
No, he's supposed to. He's supposed to fight somebody. It's and like because it's not the deal is if they do if that deal with the whole facing Garcia and Emmanuel to go is the thing to do. Yeah, he's supposed to fight. He also has to fight someone in the interim too. But so far, Kambosos' only thing is it has to be in Australia because he's not like I won my title on the road. I've been on the road. Yeah, my request is we're in Australia for this. Excuse me.
Wow. So okay. So I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I guess if that happens, look, Haney, you either press for the Loma fight or you move up to 140. Like, because if you stay at 135 and take a meaningless fight, you tempting the boxing gods, yo. Like,
for real,
you really are. And honestly, Haney needs to see if he could get a fight situated already. He needs to press something and make something happen because you don't want to start wasting time. He had a fight semi recently, so I know he's young. He probably stay closer to his weight and he trained. But if it's a strain like that, try to make a Loma fight. Call Loma, try to press for that. Because if you're not getting the Kambosos fight for Undisputed, Loma's the only real other fight at lightweight that is worth going for. If you can't get that, 140, man. Like, and if you can't get the Loma fight by the summer, definitely 140.
Facts.
Like, definitely. Don't let these guys play with you the whole year, because what will happen is they'll do the same thing what happened with Teofimo. Be off for a whole year and just get to the point where you can't really make that last stand at that weight.
Right.
It's too long.
And then you end up taking an ass whooping, taking a beating in a losing effort, and you don't really want that. You don't really want to see what Teofimo got. Because Teofimo, like, it wasn't like he got. I mean, he took a real beating against Kambosos. It was a two-way beating, but someone who was pound for pound and all this stuff like that got busted up like badly. You don't want that. You don't want to see that happen to Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Oh man, this boxing, man. People boxing has just has a whole lot of shit going on, bro. And then then we have